Anyway,
Smacks his
It's
table.
Alt F9 time.
Hodor
All
said
I'm
Hodor.
saying is just pull the paper down. That way the cum hits the paper, not your face, and you'll be fine.
Ah,
Not on
dude,
your keyboard like a real man.
Hodor had been living all on his own since Prince Bran wed his wife last year.
Yeah,
His
if your
life was
keys
simple now,
don't.
but Hodor missed the feel of a small friend in the knapsack of his back. Those times had far more terror, but he also felt much less alone. Hodor made himself as he fed the fire and began preparing his dinner. Hodor was completely alone in his cabin except for the plant he had failed while harvesting one day. Okay, it was less than a plant and more of a stick in a pot. It served Hodor's needs though. Hodor said to his plant, wondering if it could hear him. The plant said nothing. After a comfortable dinner by the fire, Hodor began to heat the tub of bathwater he had prepared earlier that morning. As the fire warmed the silver tin of the tub, Hodor began to derobe. Slowly, Hodor removed the heavy belt he wore around his waist, letting it drop idly to the floor.
No.
Hodor then removed his wool shirt that he wore every day, dropping it at the back of a nearby chair. Hodor's hairy chest and huge arms glistened with the sweat of the long day of work. There was a rustle in the room. Hodor exclaimed,
Wait, Russell's in the room? When did Russell get there?
"Oh, don't worry, Russell gonna play a big
After
part. Don't worry, buddy.
after
I'm
you're
prepared
banned."
this shit." Hodor exclaimed, startled by the noise. He stared around the room, looking for the source of the noise. His plant was still there. Of course, it couldn't be that. Although Hodor thought it looked a little longer that day before. Hodor shrugged as he decided it was just the wind. Hodor removed his black boots, the ones gifted to him by the remaining members of the Stark family at the beginning of the long winter. Finally, Hodor removed his brown pants, large and with the same texture as a burlap sack. Hodor was nude now. His long members swaying as Hodor spun in the front of the warm fire. There was a rustle in the room. Hodor exclaimed this time,
Naked
sure
and
he had heard
afraid.
something. He stomped around his cabin, peering through the windows in his attempt to find the source. Outside, the night was clear and dark. The moon shone brightly through the window. Hodor returned to his plant. It definitely seemed longer this time. Hodor scratched his head, then his large, thick penis as he begun to turn. He saw the stick grow at least an inch. It was getting thicker too.
No.
Curious, Hodor swung his penis in front of the stick again. It did not grow this time. Hodor said to stick inquisitively. There was no response. Hodor shrugged as he turned back to his bath, stooping to pick his boots. Hodor's thick backside spread over so lightly, exposing his furry pink bung to the stick. There was a crash. The stick exploded to a full 10-foot tall tree. Hodor exclaimed. Leaping back, there was a tree less than a tree. More like than a normal tree. It had two long branches, very much like arms. Instead of brush at the top, the tree had a sort of upside-down stump for a head. Instead of the one long chunk, it had two long chunks, adding at what Hodor thought looked remarkably like waist height. Then Hodor saw the face. There was two eyes, small and sort of black and a red mixture. Instead of a normal nose, there was two holes. They reminded Hodor of frog's nose. The tree's mouth was wide and flat, stretching from one end of the tree to the other, flat and large. Oh, Hodor exclaimed. I am Groot, Groot responded. Hodor exclaimed in surprise and confusion. Suddenly, Hodor realized he was naked, how naked he was. He grabbed a near towel and covered himself from the waist down.
I'm so fucking hard right now.
Dude, I'm right there. I am Groot. I am Groot. Groot
That's
said
horrible.
softly, crossing the room and placing one arm on Hodor's shoulder.
No.
Groot's other hand went
Danger,
down to the
danger.
tower to Hodor's hip.
I am Groot.
Oh
Groot
god.
pulled the towel away. Hodor said to the tree. Taking Hodor into his arms, Groot lifted Hodor and placed him gently into the warm bath. Hodor looked apprehensively at Groot. I am Groot, Groot said, and Hodor felt good about that. Hodor relaxed, comforted by the tone in Groot's voice. Slowly, Groot began to. Oh god! Slowly, Groot began to scrub Hodor clean, taking care not to hurt the large man. Hodor was not used to being small. He felt strangely peaceful about it. Giving into the impulse, Hodor let out a small moan. Hodor, he said softly. Groot began to scrub lower in the tub. Oh no! Lightly, Groot's large wooden arms brush against Hodor's pendulous penis. Groot playfully avoided direct contact. For a time, Hodor looked away, but his cock began to grow. Slowly at first, but as Groot's hand came back on his leg, it could be said that the wood on Groot's arm was not the hardest thing in the tub.
Oh man. Why was that the thing that got me?
I am Groot.
Okay.
We commented, smiling softly and looking deep into Hodor's eyes. Hodor said shyly. Groot slowly began to wrap his huge wooden hand around Hodor's swollen cock.
No.
Yeah. Hodor moaned, giving into his urge. For a time, Groot rubbed the shaft of Hodor's cock, every so often, trying to tug his scrotum. Oh dear God.
It gets worse. Keep going.
I know, don't worry. I started this mission. I'm finishing it.
No.
I am Groot.
Oh, I'm finishing too. Don't worry.
Oh, right there with you. I got a fucking can of petroleum jelly right here. Anyway.
Oh
I am Groot, he whispered in Hodor's ear. Hodor responded, nodding. I am Groot. Groot exclaimed, lifting Hodor lightly out of the tub and setting him on the table. Hodor protested embarrassed as the Groot placed Hodor's feet on Groot's chest, spreading his legs wide. Hodor's tight asshole shined with anticipation in the firelight. With surprising fury, a large wooden cock floated from just above Groot's leg. I am Groot! Groot exclaimed proudly. Hodor's jaw dropped, wondering what Groot's intentions were with it.
My jaw's dropping too.
My pants are.
My pants are dropping.
Slowly, Groot resumed stroking Hodor's cock, while positioning the head of his gargantuan branch gently up against Hodor's puckered asshole.
Keep going. It gets worse.
Don't taste me. Don't. I am Groot. Groot whispered in Hodor's ear, pulling his head back and staring into Hodor's eyes as he nodded. Hodor protested, begging for a little more.
Single drop.
I am Groot, Groot said, unable to wait any longer, pressing the head of his hard cock into Hodor's dumper. Dumper. Hodor exclaimed in pain, but he did not protest. I am Groot. Groot responded, approving at the feeling of the tight flesh of Hodor's bunghole as he thrust into Hodor. A light swell of poo filled the air from Hodor's. It did not stop Groot. Hodor saying Hodor's legs slither in Groot's waist, pulling Groot into deeper and deeper. I am Groot as he climaxed, snapped deep into Hodor's anus.
5 seconds remaining.
Groot hunched over Hodor and greeted him as a tear of satin dripped from his eye. Hodor said calmly, wiping away this tear and patting Groot on the back. Hodor said as he pulled the now limp branch from his behind. His asshole was red and sap drizzled from it. And they stood and hugged Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot, Groot said. Hodor agreed. They laid
Spread them. Do you want mid?
in Hodor's bed until they fell asleep in each other's arms.
Or should I try mid?
How did you find this?
We still have
to play a game
of know that. Yeah, he has to go fucking rub one out real quick.